Okay guys, and welcome back to my F1 playthrough with me, Militant Monkey. Today I'm going to hopefully do my first qualifying session, and also I'm going to go through my setup for the Grand Prix. So I'm going to set the race distance on 30%, which will be 17 out of 58 laps on Melbourne, so just 38% of any usual track's length. And then I'm going to set the difficulty to custom. I'm going to have all these as on, including the racing line, everything like that, everything on realistic, and I'm going to bump the AI onto professional, give myself 4 flashbacks so it doesn't ruin the race, leave the braking assist off, and hopefully we can turn these down as I get better in the season, make it a little bit more testing, and maybe bump up the race distance. Okay, so that's that confirmed, and I believe we go into our practice session. I may do one lap of the practice session, then go out into qualifying. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it. I'll just have to look how long it is, but I think I'm not sure if we get all 3 practice sessions that you usually get in F1. So Friday morning practice, Friday afternoon practice, and then the Saturday morning practice pre-qualifying. I'm not sure if we get the pre-qualifying practice session, but here we are. And at Melbourne, let's look at a few things for this weekend that we have. Of course, we've got the rain, the weather setup. Let's just skip to qualifying. I think you can't do that. I want to look at the rain, but the weather, sorry. At the moment, I've just got the usual setup on it, and there's 0% chance of rain. And hopefully, I'll see you guys in a minute as we go to qualifying. Alright, guys, we are now at the qualifying session for the Melbourne Grand Prix in Australia. Sorry about that little pause there, but we need to go out and qualify. Obviously it's session 1, hopefully find my feet in terms of how things play out. I may go out on the hard tyres initially, just to sort of find my feet and see how we are in terms of timing, but then I may eventually have to set a time on the softer of the 2 tyres, which also degrade quickly. So I'm going to go into quick setup and hopefully just set myself to this little setting here, the second off the last one for dry. High top speed and very low downforce makes the car a little bit nervous, but hopefully it'll be quick. I may, if I'm struggling, notch it down one to the adaptable setting, but I'm sure that's going to be just fine for us. I don't think we need to do any, yeah, I think we'll stay on the option tyres thinking about it. If you look at, we get 3 sets of tyres, prime tyres, for qualifying and 1 for the race, I believe. They sort of set one aside, and same for the option tyres. So I think I'm just going to go out and waste a set of these options, if you like. Well, not waste a set as such, but still just use them to set my first lap time. So we're going to go ahead to our engineer, go to track, and we'll just go straight into a flying lap rather than they drive out, because that just wastes a little bit of time, which we don't really need to do. So I haven't raced on this in ages, as I said, so I'm going to find it a little bit, I don't know, a little bit weird. And also, as I'm listening to the sound for the race, it's a couple of seconds behind as it's coming through my headset that I'm recording on. So my PVR is like behind the actual play, so yeah, I may have to change that in future episodes because it's a little bit weird, because I'm hearing the gear shifts and everything really late, and it can be a little bit weird. So we're going on to the main straight here, and hopefully we've got a set qualifying time. I'm not 100%, but I believe the track record is around 1 minute 21 for this track, but I'm not 100%. Of course, we've got the KERS and DRS set in practice sessions, and already running wide at the first corner. I'm gonna have to change this sound setup around. But we get the DRS for the qualifying session, and then if you're within a second of an opponent when the DRS is enabled, which is after 2 laps, yes, I'm gonna have to change around this sound system because it's really difficult to play on. And yeah, I may just sort of let off on this lap and just keep out. Nobody else was there. I got my teammate behind me. I probably should have pulled out of the way for him. I didn't even realise he was there. And another car coming up behind me. So I'll have to set a lap time in just a second, or just after this lap. But as I said, we get the DRS for the whole qualifying session. Any car gets that. And as I said, for the race, the 1 second gap. We get KERS, which was taken out of F1 last year, but put back in this year. because it wasn't perfected, and they believe they've got it perfected this year, and it is a necessity to have, I believe now. You don't have a choice on whether you run the Curse or not, the Curse system, you have to run it. I'm not 100% on that, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's the arrangement for how last year's F1 was like. So I'm going to have to quickly put another headset on here. I'm going to have to pause this 2 seconds. Excuse me for this. Just while I pop my real headset on. Just take this microphone off. It's going to be quiet for a second. You'll have to bear with me again. And hopefully, there we go. I've got everything set up now, so I should be ready to race in a few seconds. Make sure I turn this headset on and up a little bit so I can't hear the other headset. And I've got to go around the last couple of corners now and get onto our flying lap. Got Maldonado chasing me down here, but here we go, on to our first lap. Try and get a good run out the last corner, get the curves on, turn it up to rich on the engine, just use a lot more fuel, but we don't really need to preserve fuel in the qualifying session. We go to the first corner, run a little bit wide onto the grass, but not too bad, running a little bit wide outside of this third corner, I believe that is. Maldonado set the highest time, who is currently behind me, so braking into this hairpin. Go through I believe this is a chicane. I'm not 100% sure if it's classed as a chicane, but it's sort of a chicane arrangement. And I needed to keep that flat out there, but I just didn't quite do it. And down short straight into another right-hander. Running a little bit wide. Car is a little bit nervous, as the description said on the setup, but I am no good at F1 in this game, so I'm just going to have to wait and see how it pans out. Last time I played, I was playing online, which you have to use a little bit of a different driving style offline and onto online. Sorry. This pretty high speed left-hander into a right-hander. If you get this wrong, you run wide and go out onto the gravel as I just did there. I'll keep it on for the rest of the lap. Keep Hamilton holding me up a little bit there, which is a little bit annoying. Unlikely for Hamilton to get a penalty. I think not. If there's anybody going to get a penalty, it's going to be Lewis Hamilton. But around the last corner, I'm going to set another lap here. Getting on the throttle a little bit too early. I think I'm causing a little bit of wheel spin, or just the engine revving up pretty high, which I don't particularly need. I'm at full speed already. And a better first corner, to be honest. Got the car a lot closer to the apex, and got a better exit out the corner. Rolled it out of the exit. Schumacher sets the fastest lap time. Heavy braking into that turn there, but Hamilton's still holding me up a little bit. You have to back away from him slightly here, just to get a bit of a clear route. I need to get overtaken at some point. I can use my Curse and DRS. Oh, there's a little bit of a hold up here. Kovalainen and Hamilton getting into a bit of trouble. The pack's getting... Wow. I had to pull some concentration out of the bag there. Yeah, Kovalainen moved to the left-hand side to slow down and let Hamilton pass, and I moved to the left-hand side to, because that was my racing line. Oh, I got very wide there. That was my racing line, and I had to sort of squeeze between the two. Just take that ball out there, and I did. And exit that corner. I actually got a pretty good exit, but the entrance wasn't too good, and I lost a little bit of time there. Hopefully we can gain some speed through this corner. No, I've run wide in it again and ruined my lap pretty much. My target is 15th, and I'm currently sat in 5th place, so not a bad time, but you have to take into account that this is only early qualifying and not many drivers are going to be setting their best lap times yet. You'll have to wait till the closing minutes before they do so. Did Hamilton set a lap this lap? My lap was 5/10 slower than my first lap time. Got through the first corner pretty quickly. Pretty scruffy though on the way through. I should probably clean up my driving if you like, and just make it a little bit more tidy. A little bit of traffic in Liuzzi here in the HRT, I believe he's in. Hopefully I can clear him out of the way pretty quickly. But yeah, as you can hear, I'm revving up pretty high, which is a little bit annoying, but there we go, easy pass on Liuzzi. Another right-hander, pretty similar to the first corner if you ask me. It does feel it's the same sort of entry into it. Just get a bit of curve on the way out of this corner and a bit of DRS. Quite close to the apex as I did, but we can sort of let the car run out the corner pretty easily to get up to some decent speed for this corner. The DRS makes the back end really slippy as you lose the downforce, so you can only really use it on the corners. Sorry, on the straights. On the corners, it's pretty much a no-no. You cannot use it on the corners whatsoever, because you just lose every grip at the back, because what it does is it opens the back wing up, the rear wing, small little like letterbox style, if you like. It opens that up to let air run through it, so the car goes faster in a straight line, but not as quick around the corners. So we're going to set our final lap time before we have to head into the pits now. Just going to let off the engine and get out of Lewis Hamilton's way here as we go towards the pits. But a decent time, it's still time last time, but 1:26.8 was the time I set. I'm not sure, because like I said, I haven't played this game in a while. I'm not sure if that's going to get me into a good position on the grid, or even if it's going to get me through to the next session. I need to stay above 15th, preferably to stay in this session, or in the qualifying session. Ignore the lap time, I'm just sort of cruising around the corners now. But hopefully I'm not going to make too much of a hash of this qualifying session, and it should be quite easy to get through to the second session. My aim would be to get through, as is the aim on the radar thing in the left hand side 50. But, yeah, I'm going to quickly just return to garage, no point in driving it in, and that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. I'm sorry it's going to be a little bit long. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do another episode, like 2 episodes a day or something, but sorry it's been long, and I'll see you guys in a little while.